The stadium pulsed with anticipation, a living, breathing entity fueled by excitement and uncertainty. You could feel the energy crackling in the air, a tangible force that vibrated through every seat. The lights dimmed, focusing all eyes on the squared circle below, where history, or at least a spectacle, was about to unfold. This was more than a boxing match. It was a global spectacle, a carefully orchestrated event designed to capture the attention of the world. Millions tuned in from every corner of the globe, eager to witness the clash of generations, the collision of eras. The spotlight shone brightly, not just on the fighters, but on the entire production, a testament to the power of modern sports entertainment. The Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson bout drew a crowd as diverse as the hype itself. It was a melting pot of ages, backgrounds, and levels of boxing fandom, all united by a shared curiosity and the allure of the unknown. Boxing purists sat beside teens who knew Tyson from memes, not knockouts, a testament to Tyson's enduring legacy and Paul's savvy marketing. The older generation reminisced about Tyson's prime, while the younger one anticipated what Paul would bring to the ring. It was a unique blend of nostalgia and novelty. The event was a masterclass in modern promotion, a carefully constructed narrative designed to maximize interest and engagement. Every detail, from the pre-fight interviews to the stage production, was meticulously planned to create a buzz and amplify the excitement. Viral videos, carefully curated content, and relentless social media engagement fueled the fire, ensuring that the fight remained a trending topic for weeks leading up to the event. Celebrity cameos added another layer of glamour and intrigue, drawing in audiences who might not otherwise be interested in boxing. The presence of A-list stars elevated the event beyond a mere sporting contest, transforming it into a cultural phenomenon, and a dazzling show that blurred the line between sport and entertainment, creating an immersive experience that captivated the senses. The lights, the music, the theatrics, it was all designed to heighten the drama and create a spectacle that would be remembered long after the final bell. Every jab and feint was watched by millions, analyzed and dissected in real time by fans and experts alike. Each punch carried the weight of expectation, the hopes and dreams of those who believed in their chosen fighter. Each moment amplified by the roar of the crowd and the flash of cameras, creating a sensory overload that intensified the drama and excitement. The energy was palpable, a wave of sound and light that crashed over the stadium with every significant blow. This wasn't just about who would win, it was about creating a cultural moment, a shared experience that would be discussed and debated for years to come. It was about transcending the sport itself and tapping into something larger, something that resonated with people on a deeper level. The genius lay in selling an experience, not just a fight, a complete package of entertainment that catered to a wide range of tastes and interests. It was about creating a memory, a story that people would want to share and relive, a story people would remember, a narrative that would be woven into the tapestry of boxing history. It was about creating a legacy, a moment in time that would be etched in the collective memory of sports fans around the world. When the bell rang, the energy was electric, a surge of adrenaline that coursed through the veins of everyone in attendance. The anticipation reached its peak. The moment of truth had arrived. The stakes felt historic, regardless of the actual implications for the boxing world. It was a clash of generations, a battle for bragging rights, a test of skill and will. Regardless of the outcome, the event had already succeeded, proving that boxing, with the right ingredients, could still capture the world's imagination. The financial success was undeniable, but the cultural impact was even more significant. In uniting generations and sparking conversation worldwide, bridging the gap between the old guard and the new wave of boxing enthusiasts. It was a testament to the enduring power of sport to bring people together, regardless of their age, background, or beliefs. It proved that with the right narrative, boxing could once again be the world's main event, a spectacle that transcended the sport itself and captured the attention of a global audience. The key was to create a compelling story, to build anticipation, and to deliver an unforgettable experience. Sport, at its best, brings us together, reminding us of our shared humanity and our capacity for both competition and camaraderie. It provides a platform for heroes to emerge, for dreams to be realized, and for memories to be made. And tonight it did just that, uniting a diverse crowd in a shared experience of excitement, anticipation, and ultimately a celebration of the enduring appeal of boxing. The Paul-Tyson fight was a rare bridge between generations. Tyson's fans came for nostalgia, reliving the days when he ruled the ring. Paul's followers, raised on YouTube and TikTok, saw him as a disruptor, a digital age underdog. The event became a conversation starter in homes everywhere, uniting parents and kids in shared anticipation. This crossover appeal is the secret to Paul's massive audience. He crafts narratives that draw in both boxing diehards and digital natives. By facing legends and viral stars alike, he turns every fight into a cultural phenomenon. It's a formula that's made his bouts must-see events, blending old-school legacy with new-school hype. Jake Paul's hand was raised, and the business world cheered. The fight shattered pay-per-view records and proved Paul's model, part sport, part spectacle, was a financial juggernaut. But for boxing purists, beating a 58-year-old Tyson didn't answer the real question. Is Paul a legitimate contender? Critics argued he'd mastered the art of selling a fight, not fighting at the elite level. The win added a legendary name to his resume, but with an asterisk: Tyson's age. Paul's career remains a balancing act entertainer or true athlete. The Tyson fight was a business masterstroke, but left his boxing ceiling in doubt. For credibility, he'll need to face a different kind of opponent. The world waits to see if his next move will be about business or boxing. After the buzz surrounding the potential Tyson fight began to fade, leaving fans and critics alike wondering what was next for the polarizing figure, Paul's next opponent was another famous name, a name that resonated deeply within the boxing world, carrying with it a legacy and a built-in audience. A strategic move that spoke volumes about Paul's evolving approach to the sport. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. This was no accident. It was a carefully orchestrated decision, a calculated step in Paul's journey to carve out a legitimate space for himself in the boxing landscape. Chavez Jr. is the son of a Mexican boxing legend, a name synonymous with grit, determination, and unparalleled success in the ring. Instantly connecting Paul to a massive fan base, particularly within the fervent Mexican boxing community, a demographic known for its unwavering loyalty and passion for the sport. Unlike Tyson, who, despite his legendary status, was far removed from his prime fighting years, Chavez Jr. is a former world champion, a fighter who has tasted the sweet victory of championship glory and knows what it takes to reach the pinnacle of the sport. Younger, and more recently active, Chavez Jr. presented a different kind of challenge, a test against a fighter who, while perhaps not at the peak of his career, still possessed the skills and experience to pose a legitimate threat. Beating him would mean more in boxing circles, garnering a level of respect and recognition that a victory over Tyson at this stage simply couldn't provide. But he's also known for inconsistency, a fighter whose performances have fluctuated, making him a somewhat unpredictable opponent. A calculated risk for Paul, weighing the potential reward against the inherent dangers of facing a former world champion. The matchup is a masterstroke, a brilliant piece of matchmaking that balances risk and reward perfectly. Credible enough to silence some critics, who have long questioned the legitimacy of Paul's boxing career, but winnable for a developing fighter, providing Paul with a realistic opportunity to showcase his skills and continue his progression in the sport. Paul's team frames it as a real test, emphasizing the challenge and the significance of facing a former world champion. Leveraging the Chavez legacy for commercial success, tapping into the rich history and tradition of Mexican boxing to generate excitement and attract a wider audience. "I'm fighting a former world champion to prove I'm serious," Paul declared, solidifying his commitment to the sport and silencing doubters, selling both the challenge and the spectacle, creating a narrative that appeals to both hardcore boxing fans and casual observers alike. It's a careful step toward legitimacy, a strategic move designed to earn the respect of the boxing establishment, without leaping into danger, avoiding a matchup that would be too risky or damaging to his career. The fight is designed to boost both Paul's credibility, enhancing his reputation as a legitimate boxer, and his brand, further solidifying his position as a major player in the boxing world and expanding his business empire. It's the next chapter in his strategy, a carefully planned step in his ongoing quest to conquer the world of boxing, of calculated, headline-grabbing matchups designed to keep him in the spotlight and generate maximum buzz. The Chavez Jr. announcement split the boxing world. Promoters praised the business savvy. Chavez's name sells, especially to Mexican fans. Critics like Teddy Atlas called it another safe bet, not a true test. Matchmakers saw it as classic career building. A credible name, but not a current threat. For business minds, Paul's choices are flawless. Big names, low risk, huge paydays. Purists see a pattern of avoiding real danger, questioning his path to greatness. Both sides have a point. The strategy builds a brand, but leaves his true boxing potential in doubt. The Chavez Jr. fight didn't settle the debate. It only made it louder. Paul's tightrope walk between spectacle and sport continues. Paul's team faces a classic dilemma: chase the biggest payday or build real boxing credibility. Every opponent is weighed for their fame and their threat level. The Tyson fight was all about spectacle, the risk was low, the reward massive. But such wins do little for his standing among boxing insiders. Chavez Jr. is a slight recalibration: more risk, more credibility, but still a calculated choice. Paul's path is the reverse of most boxers: fame first, then trying to earn respect. Every fight is a global event, every loss would be catastrophic for his brand. The pressure makes his matchmaking one of the most fascinating acts in modern sport. Matchmaking in boxing is an art, and Paul's team has turned it into a science. They blend business strategy with brand building, choosing opponents who boost both credibility and cash. It's a playbook used by legends like Mayweather, but Paul's version is faster, louder, and more public. Every fight is a calculated risk, designed to maximize headlines and minimize danger. Critics say he's dodging true tests. Supporters call it smart business. In today's fight game, one loss can kill a career. So why not play it safe? Paul's team is building an empire, not just a resume. It's the art of the deal, played out in the ring. Paul's critics often point to the age of his opponents, a recurring theme in the discourse surrounding his boxing career. They scrutinize the matchups, suggesting that the age disparity significantly favors Paul, giving him an unfair advantage in the ring. Retired athletes who have long passed their physical prime, faded legends whose glory days are firmly behind them, and now a 58-year-old Tyson. The selection of opponents raises questions about the legitimacy of the challenge and the validity of any victories. The strategy is clear: carefully selected opponents to leverage their fame, capitalize on their established names, while simultaneously minimizing the risk of a genuine upset. It's a calculated approach to build a record and maintain marketability. Detractors call it hollow, a carefully constructed facade, arguing real respect, true validation, comes from beating prime contenders, those at the peak of their abilities, hungry and determined. Paul counters that he's facing men with decades of experience, seasoned veterans who have spent years honing their craft, reframing the age gap as a challenge, not an advantage. He argues that experience is a formidable weapon, regardless of age. The Chavez Jr. fight marks a shift, a potential turning point in Paul's boxing journey. He's a real boxer, not just a famous name from the past, a fighter with a legitimate boxing pedigree and a history of competing at a high level. It's a response to criticism, an attempt to silence the doubters and prove his commitment to the sport, a step toward building a more credible record, one that can withstand scrutiny and earn the respect of the boxing community. Paul is moving from fighting legends, those whose names resonate through boxing history, to facing former champions, individuals who once held titles and competed at the highest echelons of the sport, inching closer to legitimacy. Each fight is a test, a challenge to prove he belongs in the world of professional boxing. The narrative is evolving, shifting with each fight, each victory, and each controversy. But the debate rages on. The boxing world remains divided on Jake Paul's place in the sport. Each opponent is a new chapter in his quest for respect, a continuing saga in his attempt to prove himself as a legitimate boxer. Paul's ultimate goal is a world title, a dream many scoff at. He's bypassing the traditional grind, using fame to create his own path of high-profile, hand-picked opponents. But to be a true contender, he'll need to face a top 10 fighter in their prime. The leap from names like Chavez Jr. to real champions is massive. Still, Paul's promotional power could lure a top contender for the right price. A win would silence critics, a loss could shatter his brand. Whether he ever gets a title shot or not, his journey is one of the most unpredictable stories in sports. For now, the world watches, waiting to see if he can turn spectacle into legacy.